Hello everyone, my name is Effie
My name's Khan.
and welcome back to our channel.
In today's video, we'll be talking about things that we wish we knew. So Aaliyah is almost 1 year old. 1 year's old now.
Say
Here she
hi!
is.
Hi everyone! Yeah, so during this year a lot have happened. We experienced a lot, some things that we never expected would be like this. Before we had her, there are a lot of things we didn't know about until now. So yeah, there are things that we wish we knew before having a baby, and we want to share with you guys. If you are a new parent and expecting your first newborn, this video might help you.
Yeah, so there's going to be a good chance. There's going to be a good chance that there will be things that you're unprepared for and don't know. So hopefully this helps.
Yeah, so before we had Aliyah, I always prepared to do the breastfeeding, but I never knew how, I assume it will be just like baby's hungry and crying, then I feed. But I never expect it will be a latching problem in the first week. That she was hungry, and she wants to get fed, but she didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. It was quite difficult, but we got some help from the hospital, the nurses. One of the most most effective idea and suggestion was to use the nipple shield to help her to get used to it and get something came out first. And another thing I never expected is a baby, they will get fed every 2 to 3 hours. Well, can't they just be like us, do 3 meals a day? Yeah, that affect our sleep a lot because feeding is not just like a 5 minutes work done. For a newborn baby, they don't have much strength, and the feeding will take up to 40 to 50 minutes at a time, and then every 2-3 hours they need to get fed out again. Wow, yeah. It was quite tough times. So at the hospital, I got advice. So first, I got a baby to do skin to skin feeding, and then we use syringe to help you to get to the minimum amount out, and then use the pump to stimulate your body and telling yourself it's not enough, please get more.
Yeah, so another problem we had was we were just receiving different types of advice from different types of people. So we saw a breastfeeding consultant, they gave us different opinions. And then you have midwife visits after your baby's born, which is very helpful. So we thank all these people first for helping us. But it was very confusing as well because we just got different types of advice. And there was a hotline, we even called at like 3 a.m. in the morning. And they were like, each person was questioning why is each person saying that and whatnot. So we were very confused.
So for newborn babies, feeding and sleeping probably are the two biggest thing that you will think about. So for sleeping, it's important to get baby to certain routines so they know, you're putting them down. So before we had Aliyah, I never knew that you need to soothe a baby to sleep. I thought it would just be like, they're tired, you put them down, they go to sleep. But now you have to set certain routines and soothe them. Sometimes you need to sing, sometimes you pat, you just calm them down, and then they will fall asleep.
So the thing is, for me, putting baby to sleep, at least Aaliyah, I would always want to cuddle her to sleep because she's my baby, obviously. The thing I didn't know is that you can cuddle them too long and they get kind of too used to it, and that's something I had to deal with at a later stage, or kind of train her out of dealing with that. So I wish we understood sleep a bit better in terms of preparing that routine. So Effie was always good with it.
Yeah, another thing is babies they're really smart and they are used to certain routines. So if one day you change, they will be like, oh, what's going on, mommy and daddy? That's not how we supposed to sleep. So for Kang, like when he cuddles her too much, and then she will be like, that's not what mommy does. So she cries. But I want to add in one point is don't stress out if someday baby just change the whole pattern and they refuse to sleep. It happens. Don't stress yourself too much. If one day something's changed, maybe the baby is teasing and they are experiencing something that you don't know, don't stress yourself out. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, so a lot of things do change. So when they hit a milestone in terms of physical developments and whatnot, they do want to keep doing that sort of thing. So if they just start rolling over, for example, just start standing up on their own, then they might want to keep trying that. So we've had issues with Aaliyah standing in her crib all the time because she just started standing. So that's part of the process, I believe, and we wish we knew that kind of thing.
Yeah, I never knew what's going to happen in the hospital. I thought it was just like I gave birth and I got rest and someone's taking care of my baby, but it's not the case. It was quite difficult actually. During the 3 days in hospital, I never get a good rest. I did like maximum an hour sleep during the night and that's it. The reason was, yeah, you had to feed your babies and then you have nurses and doctors checking consistently. You got people like knocking at your door and saying, here's your meal, here's your drinks. So it's like every half an hour you got, yeah, disturbed by somebody. So advice is, well, if you can, just rest as much as you can. Ask your loved ones to take care of the baby, and yeah, you're basically you are going to get yourself rest and recover. That's the most important thing.
So we just try to gather as much information as possible. I didn't really realize that until the last day in terms of different swaddling techniques, asking as many questions as possible because they are willing to help. They are quite busy too, but they are willing to help. So just trying to ask as many questions as possible. One thing we didn't really know about was colic, for example, just other things.
As parents, the one thing that you hate most probably be crying, but they can't help. Yeah, they're babies. How they supposed to tell you what they want except for crying, right? So for newborn baby, if they cry, they're mostly a couple of reasons like they're hungry, they've got dirty nappies, they're not comfortable, they feel too cold, too hot, or sometimes you just want cuddles. Yeah, but if, well, sometimes it's none of the reason above. It's just, well, they cry from nowhere. So at that time, you will be very stressed and thinking, well, why my baby is crying? So one of the reason that we are told or we can think of was colics.
Yeah, so colic, the information still isn't clear. I wish we could have asked more at the hospital, but we really didn't know what it was, and for quite some time I didn't believe it. Yeah, we had a phase where I think babies cry from 6 to 10 weeks, is it? A lot?
That's
Is that
the
what it is?
peak time.
Yeah, so
they
peak
say.
time is
Yeah.
6 to 10 weeks of crying. So we had probably around that stretch where in the evening Aaliyah was just crying for a couple of hours straight and would just be holding her or cuddling her and she would just be non-stop. So we suspect it was some sort of colic and reflux and she couldn't really her digestive system hadn't matured. But for me, I always tried to, when I was going through that at least, I always tried to tell myself that it was going to be okay, like it would just pass eventually.
Yeah.
Because after that she would sleep throughout the night, so unless it was for feeds.
Another thing I wish I knew was postpartum depression. I never thought about before, like never ever. I always think myself is a well relatively strong and positive person. I never expect that will happen. It's like I couldn't control myself. The feeling is just overwhelmed me. Once after the moment after I gave birth, I think it was because my hormone just dropped from a very high level to normal level. Because when you were pregnant, you could get different things in terms of tiredness or what, but you are expecting a baby, so you will always be happy. But at the moment she's out of your body, you will be experiencing something totally different. You never knew that how this feeling is coming from. It could lead to like you were being mom for the first time, you didn't know what to do, and then it it's just like I couldn't, yeah, there's no way that I can describe it properly, but I just want to say, well, at that moment you were not being yourself, but it's okay that you are mom. Everything is not as it's used to be, but you're still going to love yourself no matter how. And at that time, of course, you need your partner and your family support.
Yeah, so that's what I try to do as much as possible. So with Effie, she had an emergency C-section. So when this was actually happening, she doesn't actually remember saying this to me, but she said, "I hate you." Tell us how you really feel. But yeah, I think it was because, it's just an emotional roller coaster, and we had planned for natural birth, obviously. So that was unexpected, the C-section, but that's what kind of happened. But for me, it was just like, she's been through so much, and I was just like, look, I got to power through this and try to be there for her as much as possible.
Thank you.
Which I'm still trying to do. So the next thing we're talking about is jaundice. So jaundice is the yellow pigmentation of the eyes, the skin, and whatnot. So Aaliyah did suffer from that.
Well, yeah, for Aliyah's situation, she got the yellowness, but it's not that serious, and that the index is not up to get a special treatment. So what we did is just to feed her as much as we can and get that out of the system, and then give her the sunlight every 5 to 10 minutes per day.
Yeah, so for Effie, she was really concerned about this and really kind of stressing out about it, whereas I thought it was unnecessary because she wasn't at that next level where she required treatment. It was just a bit of sunlight throughout the day, 5 minutes or so. And then also, she was having enough wet diapers and wet nappies and whatnot for her to pass it through her system. So that was really good. Plus, I had it as a baby, and it's more common in Asian babies, I believe. So I was just like, yeah, well, this kind of happens, but it's not that serious. It can lead to more serious diseases, but yeah, if it's like her situation, it's totally fine.
Yeah, so we wish we knew that in the beginning, so I won't be that stressed. It's quite natural, then it will go away. Thanks for watching today's video. If you like it, please give us a thumb up or leave your comments down below. Tell us what you think. Please share this video with anyone you think that would be helpful. Yay! Say bye-bye to everyone. Say bye!
Bye! That's mine.